people know at the end of the day, no matter what arguments say this art form's not valid, they know that it's something for this time, like from the 80s to the 90s. It's a thing that's had a major impact on world, because every city has spent so much trying to eradicate it. So culturally, it's so important, and I think that's what you just can't suppress culture. It will always come through. Yeah. So that's the most exciting thing. It's exciting to be doing something in a museum that I never thought, when I was like 16 and sitting on the train line having a cigarette, I never thought I would one day be in a museum.
I mean, this thing has been an amazing project. It's been hugely successful. I mean, it's such a fantastic thing to watch. All these artists kind of come together from different cities and work in this space, and really watch them just kind of jamming off from each other. I mean, you've got El Tono from Madrid doing this really geometric, wonderful kind of shapes, and then you've got Seek doing mad stuff with his spray can art. Sol Crew doing really big sort of iconic, colorful logos, and as everyone just kind of got together and started working, and is really pumping with this great energy, and I think that she's really extended itself and remained in the show, and people coming in really get that vibe and really get that sense that this is a really sort of vibrant thing, just as vibrant as kind of the art form itself is. I mean, that energy is really stored here like some great battery that people can just tap into when they enter the room.
Then afterwards we did this piece over it because we thought it was cool to kind of use all the primary colors as kind of a contrast to the wall that was above it because of the text and stuff. So kind of therefore acknowledging the fact that it's there, so also kind of restoring the art piece in a way, you know, with adding our thing next to it, like kind of giving it a contrast. So kind of in that sense, putting it back in place. But then the people that were involved with the project, they put like a really big text like line over it, so they just rolled over it. Yeah, it's really disgusting. Yeah, so now it's gone. So it's like until here, like this whole part is like completely ruined. So probably you have to do it again, and we just keep the upper part, we keep it like this, and then we do all this view up to here, you know, and then going over it. I think that's even nice about it, because the colors are a little bit faded on this one, so you can just go over it. That's strange. But it's really sad that it happens. Yeah.
That's very nice.
People have always illustrated their situation. So cavemen illustrated where they were living, and we're doing the same. You know, it's a human thing. You can't take away or legislate against what people want to paint. And for all us as a global movement, we're painters. We don't necessarily get a kick out of being in bars and drinking all night and going home and then going to work. We get a kick out of putting a message out. And there'll be younger kids come through, and it'll always be a thing, because it's a human thing. You know, the one thing I've always thought about graffiti is that it should be used for or conveying a message, because it has a powerful message. Like if you look at previous revolutions, like say in Belgrade, Serbia, they used graffiti to overthrow Slobodan Milosevic. And it's
even the man in the cave in the prehistoric.
Exactly, and Northern Ireland is another example. Cuba's an example where people use public messages to enforce a message, you know. So I think for me that's important, to use it in the work. Some people will take offence, but it's good, because it's good that people have a reaction to that they get upset, because I mean what I'm saying on that is only the same as what is being said on television. Yet it's acceptable on television, and it probably hurts people more to see it as an image on the street. So it's good to have that, you know, to voice an opinion, because we live in a democracy that, you know, you're not supposed to agree with what people say, you're supposed to disagree. That's the whole idea of living with people. You're supposed to, as much as people say yes to something, there should be people that say no. So I think that's important to convey that using graffiti. And I'll do it anyway, because I like to upset people. It makes me happy. It makes me feel less bitter.
Power.
Yeah, a little bit of power, that's all I need in life.
Yeah.
Not that much power, like a president power, I just need my little piece of graffiti power, and I'm happy. It's difficult because there's so many different mediums to use, and from whether it's stickers or fly posters, it's constantly changing. like etching on with, you know, it's always going to change, and there's loads of new ideas, and there's a lot of people coming into the culture that didn't come from, say, a train writing background. They came from an arts background, which is cool because it just adds different to the street. As long as they come out and do their stuff on the street, that's the most important thing. It's interesting, there's a lot of nice ideas. Like today, I seen the guy Alex's stuff in town and it just blew me away. This is something that we're used to people saying, right, you've got a day, do something, like, and we can turn it around in a day. Which
because
is,
when you do it illegal, you don't have weeks.
You don't get a lunch break when you're doing illegal work. It's like you don't get to clock out and say, right, okay, that's done for the day, I'll be back tomorrow. A generation has grown up looking at the imagery and seeing that it is viable because, you know, graffiti influences everything from advertising to the way train companies advertise.
It's funny because, you know, the old writers used to see advertisement and they thought, wow, it's 3D on the left, I want to use it in a piece, and now the advertising boys, they take the graffiti style and they pick it again for advertising. So
it goes around in circles.
It's really,
and graffiti's got no rules, there should be no rules whatsoever.
In a traditional way, it's got too many rules, I think.
Yeah.
You should take away the rules and do your own thing with it.
Come on.